There's been this thing going on about Spider-Man and what is Spider-Man. Many people have different opinions of what Spider-Man is. Some people think that Spider-Man is a symbol of hope. Hope for, even in the darkest of times, evil will never prevail. Some people think Spider-Man is some sort of delusional type of thinking they can see anybody as Spider-Man. Anybody can be Spider-Man. And anybody can imagine being Spider-Man, which they use that as pretty much anybody can be Spider-Man. But here's what people aren't really talking about. What is Spider-Man? I'm going to tell you exactly what Spider-Man is. Spider-Man is nothing but a personality. What do I mean by a personality? Well, when you look at Peter Parker, what was he before? Peter Parker was just some nerdy ass kid taking fucking photos of everything, doing scientific things. Just a normal, everyday, average high schooler. But nowhere, out of nowhere, he got bit by a radioactive spider. You know the rest from there. Lets the burglar go. Uncle Ben gets shot to death. Chase down the burglar. Becomes Spider-Man. Well, what does Spider-Man act like when... What does Peter Parker act like when he puts on the mask? Well, he acts exactly the same. There is no difference. There's no shift in personality. There's no shift in motives, goals. Nothing changes. Peter does what he does best. And that's be himself. And that's what makes him unreplaceable, because you can't just grab someone else's personality and throw it on somebody else and then call them Spider-Man, because they're not. They're not original, and they haven't really been established. They're just a copy. Copies. I don't consider copies being anything. It's like Gwen Stacy. Even though she's a copy of Spider-Man, yes, it's cool to have a little spin-off here and there, but Gwen Stacy is the love interest of Spider-Man. Other than that, she's nothing. Mary Jane is a love interest of Spider-Man, but other than that, she's nothing. Black Cat has more of a unique personality and more of a unique gig. You know, she's a thief, burglar. She has a unique dynamic with Spider-Man, and pretty much anybody. She can't really star in her own thing, but I do believe that if Spider-Man and Black Cat were to team up together or be together, people are going to be tuned into that because they love their relationship. But other than that, you know, there's nothing else. And spin-offs don't count. You can't just sit here and say, okay, Gwen Stacy is Spider-Man in this universe, when she's not. You can't sit here and say Mary Jane is Spider-Man, because she's not. It don't matter if there's a spin-off. It don't matter if there's a different reality. These people aren't Spider-Man. These people are nothing but ideas that have been ran out of. So instead of coming up with new original characters, they decided to copy another character and try to integrate their personality into another being. And that's why you got the mess called Miles Morales. What does Miles Morales do that is any different than what Peter is? Yes, he's black. Yes, he's Puerto Rican. But what else is there? What else is there? It don't matter if you're fucking change your skin color or change your race. He acts the same as Peter. He does the same shit Peter does. Everything he does is like Peter. So how you expect me to feel anything for Miles when he's just literally a fucking clone of Peter? You know? Stan Lee said himself, the reason why he think everybody resonated with Spider-Man is because anybody could imagine being Spider-Man because of his costume and there being anybody under the mask. And the mystery is what made people come closer to Spider-Man. And he also said he doesn't approve of grabbing established characters and making clones of them, because people are not going to connect and they're not going to build anything with these copycats because there's nothing unique about them. That's why you make, even taking another beloved character's name, is it gonna make people move on from the original source? And I feel like that's what Marvel Spider-Man's kind of went off hills, because in the first game it was all about Peter, Spider-Man. You know, the namesake of the title, Marvel Spider-Man. But you can kind of see slowly through the game that it wasn't really focused on Peter. It was kind of focusing a little bit too much on MJ. But, you know, that's kind of fine since, you know, they're both a couple. But you even had a moment in there where you play as Miles at least 2 times or 3 times, and that kind of ruined the pacing a little bit. But I could kind of see what they was going for. But we didn't come to play with Miles. And I feel like that was the biggest problem they had, was that they were trying to make a Spider-Verse when they should be focused on making a Spider-Man. And they did do that with the first game. But with the second game, they made a whole second game about Miles Morales. Who the fuck wants to play with a black version of Peter? No one wants to do that. We don't know who the fuck this dude is. He's nothing. There's nothing special about him. None of his character arc is really interesting. Nothing about it is. This dude is fucking literally Black Jesus in this universe, and there's no consequences with him around. There's just nothing. There's nothing there. You can't even really feel that bad for when his father died, because it's like, what are you doing bringing Miles here? We don't care about Miles. He's just a copy. And I feel like nowadays with Marvel, they're too busy trying to push this agenda down your throat with, we need more diversity and inclusion. We need DEI. DEI means didn't earn it. Didn't earn a penny with that Miles Morales, and they didn't earn a penny with that Marvel Spider-Man 2. That's why half of the Insomniac team had to disappear, because they wasn't doing their job. They wasn't making a Spider-Man game. They was too busy trying to make a everyone game, and in the process they alienated the people who actually love Spider-Man and actually wanted to play Spider-Man. And instead we got The Last of Us 2, and we got fucking Death Simulator. And you know, I ain't making fun of deaf people or anything, but we didn't come to this game to play with a black deaf girl. Okay, we didn't come to this game to play with Mary Jane. We didn't come to this game to even play with a rip-off version of Peter Parker. We came to this game to play with Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is just a personality for Peter Parker. Mask on or not mask off. So, you know, you can't really get mad at anybody when they say that Miles Morales is not Spider-Man, because he's literally not. Just like me grabbing this new Punisher that came out. Who in the fuck cares about this new Punisher? No one. You know why? Because it was never an established character as Punisher. Punisher is not just a title. Punisher is literally this guy's persona. And, you know, it's not nothing they just put on for a day and then they just say, okay, it's not like it's a job or anything like WWE or something like that. This is literally shit they do every day. This is an everyday thing. This is how they think. This is how they act. This is everything about them. This is ingrained in them. The same thing goes for Batman. The same thing goes for Nightwing. Look at fucking Batgirl. Even though she's supposed to be kind of like a rip-off version of Batman, even she still feels like her own kind of hero in a sort of way. But you know, the same goes for numerous other characters. Wolverine, Storm. You can't replace these characters. It don't matter if you make a white Storm and then, you know, try to replace the original. People are not gonna like that because it's not the original source. They're not established characters. There's nothing unique about them or their powers, and you can't replace these characters. These beloved characters people have been building a relationship with their entire life, and these names aren't just nicknames. These names are literally their personality and what they represent. So, you know, when the next time you think about Peter, yes, he is a symbol of hope. He is the inspiration to be better. And, you know, you should be inspired to be just like Peter Parker. But at the end of the day, all you can do is just imagine being Peter Parker. You can't be him. You're not biologically him. At the end of the day, you're not Peter Parker. There's only one person who can be Spider-Man. There's only one person who is Spider-Man. And that's Peter B. Parker. Thank you for watching.